Hi everyone, this is Kamara Penawa, Mr. Cam, and welcome to this program. Today we are in Quatrième, Unit 5, City or Village. Before we go further in this lesson, I'll ask you to look at this picture. What can you see in the picture? You can see some traditional houses. So the picture describes a village. Okay, now look at picture 2. Is it a village? No, this is a city. Can you recognize the city? Obviously, this is Abidjan. Okay, so this unit is about city or village, and in this particular lesson, we're going to describe Abidjan in the past and in the present. And this lesson is entitled, I Wish I Lived in Abidjan. In this lesson, we'll have 3 stages. First of all, we have a vocabulary input, then a language function, and we'll finish by a communication activity. Before we continue, let's look at the learning context. Your American pen friend wants to visit you soon in your city during the long vacation. A month before his arrival, he calls you on WhatsApp and asks you questions about your city, Abidjan. So, what is it about? It is about a WhatsApp call between your friend who is American and you. And what will you talk about? You talk about your city, Abidjan, what your city was in the past and what it is now. So to be able to do that, I'm going to introduce some vocabulary words. For the first word, look at this picture. What can you see? So you can see a river and something on it, and this is called a bridge. A bridge. Now, picture 2, there are planes. Okay, planes are what you can take to travel, to go to Europe, etc. And this picture describes an airport. Okay, airport. Now, in picture 3, you have roads and cars. So you can see some cars coming and others going. It's a big road. Okay, this is called a highway. Okay, a highway. Now, in the next picture, is it a highway? No, here the road is smaller. Okay, this is a street. A street. Perfect. Now, this picture you can see many highways coming and joining somewhere which is circular, and this is a roundabout. A roundabout. Very good. So, for the last picture, you can see a device for controlling the traffic. It is called a traffic light. Okay, so in the traffic light you have 3 colors: red, orange, and green. So, now let's recap the words. Bridge, airport, highway, street, roundabout, and traffic lights. Very good. Now that you know the meaning of the different words, let's practice them a little bit. In this activity, activity 1, you have to fill in the gaps with words or phrases from the box below. There is an example. Number 1 is an example. And the words are street, bridges, airport, highways, traffic lights, and roundabout. Number 1, which is an example, it is dangerous to play in the streets of Abidjan because there are many cars. Okay, so number 1 is streets. Now, it's over to you to do number 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now, let's correct. Number 1 was an example, so number 1, street. Now 2, when the traffic light goes red, the cars must stop. Okay, so number 2 is traffic lights. So when it goes red, the cars must stop, and when it goes green, the cars can move. Very good. 3, a roundabout. Number 3 is a roundabout, which is a type of circular intersection or junction. Very good. 4, so if you travel by bus, you can go to a bus station, but if you take the plane, you must go to the airport. So number 4, airport. Number 4, airport. 5, autoroute du Nord. So autoroute du Nord is, the highway, so it's one of the biggest highways in Côte d'Ivoire. And the last one, people build bridges on rivers. Yes, so we put the bridges on rivers. Now that you know some words to describe the city, we're going to see how we can describe the city in the past and in the present. Look at this picture. This is a picture of Rue de Commerce Plateau in 1952. So what you can see, there are many people riding bicycles and others are walking. Is it still usual to see people riding bicycles in Plateau today? No. So people used to ride bicycles in Plateau. People used to ride bicycle in Plateau in the 1950s. So the expression used to refers to an activity or state that was true in the past, but it is not today. Okay? So you see, used to. Very good. Here are some examples. In 1920, Abidjan used to be a small village, but it is a big town now. You see, used to in the past. Example 2, 100 years ago, there used to be no traffic lights in Abidjan, but today there are many. Example 3, before 1980, Korogo used not to have a university. Or we can say Korogo didn't used to have a university, but there is one there today. This is the negative form. We have 2 different expressions, used not to have or didn't use to. Example 4, in the past, did Treichville used to be the capital of Côte d'Ivoire? Did Treichville used to be? So you can see did and further used to without the D at the end of use. And the answer is no, it didn't, because Treichville has never been the capital of Côte d'Ivoire. Okay, so let's practice this grammar point a little bit. Activity 2. You have to choose the right option to complete the sentences and underline it like in the example. Example, they used to be or they used to no big mosque in the plateau in 1970. In 1970. So what is the correct answer? Number 1, they used to be, because in the second option there is no verb. So after used to, you have to put a verb. Perfect. Number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5 is over to you to complete them. Okay, now let's look at the correction of activity 2. So I told you number 1 is the example. So number 2, people used not to communicate with mobile phones in 1900. Here we choose the negative form because surely in 1900 there was no mobile phone. 3, Did ayama? The correct option is the first one, used to, without the D, because we have did at the beginning. So, did ayama used to have a stadium in the past? Number 4, there used not to be any parallel culture in Abidjan. So, the correct form is the second one. Okay, they used not to be. Here, the second possibility is they didn't used to be, but it's not possible to say they used to be not. This form is not correct. Number 5, did Abidjan used to celebrate the Masters Festival in 1960? So the second form is the correct one without the D. It's like the third one. No D at the end. All right? Good. Now that you know some words to describe a city, and you also know how you can talk about a city in the past and in the present, we're going to move on to the communication activity. And it goes like this. Your American friend wants to visit you soon in your city during the long vacation. A month before his arrival, he calls you on WhatsApp to ask you questions about your city, Abidjan. Complete the dialogue using the clause between brackets. Okay? So you see, you have the dialogue, and between brackets, you have some clues. For example, the first you have small airport in the past and big airport now. Here you can say, because the question is your airport still small? No, it used to be small, but it's bigger now. So you use the expression, it used to be. In the past, it used to be small, but it's bigger now. So you have other clues. It's over to you to complete the dialogue. Okay, now let's have the feedback of this activity. I told you it is a WhatsApp conversation. So I'm going to role play this conversation with a friend of mine. His name is John. He's calling me from the US. So look at it and you can get inspiration. Hi, John.
Hi, Kipele. I'm planning to come to Abidjan soon. Can you tell me more about your country's realities today?
Sure. What do you want to know?
Is your airport still small?
No, it used to be small, but it's bigger now.
I heard that it's difficult to get there. Is that true?
Yeah, it used to be. However, today there are many highways and roundabouts to facilitate the traffic.
Do you still have only 2 bridges?
No, there used to be 2 bridges in the past, but now there are 3.
What about criminality?
Things have changed. There used to be a lot of crimes in the past. It is a safer place today.
Thanks a lot. I think I will come next month.
You'll be more than welcome, my friend. Goodbye.
Bye for now.
Okay, this is the end of this lesson. For homework, you have to practice the dialogue with your classmates. Record yourselves and send that off to your English teacher. Okay, you do that and your teacher will give you a feedback. Okay, so it is the end of this lesson, and I hope that you really enjoy it. Thank you for being with us. Keep working at home, keep safe, and see you next time. Goodbye.